Hey everyone, it's been a minute since I've been on live out in the boonies with barely battery or internet connection. This morning, or this afternoon rather, on my way to laundry, one of my songs that I really like that's kind of more new or more popular recently is called Wake Up Sleeper. And he's talking about how you get a new heart and it's a new life and you're transformed. And I like the beat and I like the words and I like the message. So a lot of you know that I'm doing homeschool right now with the kids, and that my student teaching is my degree is completely on hold because there's no opening in student teaching. So they're hoping they can get me in the fall. I was looking at going back to CCU, but funding leaves me almost 2,000 shy for that. I only have 3 classes left to get my bachelor's degree, so I feel like I'm at the finish line on 2 bachelor's degrees, and I'm stuck. So keep me in your prayers on that. May 2,000 land in my lap somehow. But in the homeschool class, we are reading the Gospel of John, and today we covered chapter 7, which addresses Jesus healing the man who was blind since birth. And I was telling Marissa about it the other day, about how it's one of my favorite chapters, just because not only does Jesus really hammer home the point in the Gospel of John that he is the Messiah, and there should be no doubt. You can't say that he's a good person or he's a good teacher unless you agree with everything he was teaching. And he was also teaching that he was the fulfillment of the Old Testament law, and that he was the Messiah. Like, he came out and said, I am the light of the world. I am the living water. I am the bread of life. So one of the messianic miracles that they were supposed to be looking for was the healing of a blind person that had been blind since birth. So this happens, and of course, miracles have to be investigated by the Pharisees, and the people that really knew that he was indeed this guy take him to the Pharisees, and they're like, he's been healed, and the Pharisees don't want to hear about it. One, they're convinced that Jesus is a sinner because he did this healing on the Sabbath. He also healed the lame man on the Sabbath. So he's breaking their laws, driving them crazy, and he's literally schooling them. And they aren't handling things very well. But it gets even more hilarious when this blind guy is brought before them, and they ask him a bunch of questions, and then they're like, you weren't blind since birth. Like, you're lying to us. Go get your parents. And the parents come forward, and they're afraid of being kicked out of the synagogue. So they're like, he's old enough to answer these questions on his own. We can tell you he's been blind since birth, but we have no idea who healed him. We have nothing to do with that. You need to talk to him, because they're afraid of being kicked out of the synagogue. So they bring the blind man in again, and they're asking him questions, and he kind of asked them sarcastically, yeah, you guys want to be his disciples too? Which, of course, just puts them over the edge, and they're like, no, you're his disciple. We belong to Moses. So the whole thing it's really awesome, and I don't know how you go through the Gospel of John and don't discover the truth for yourself, that Jesus Christ is the real deal. He is the Messiah. The Old Testament pointed to him, and he fulfilled messianic prophecy after messianic prophecy, and you get a really big chunk in undeniable facts from the Gospel of John. So today, if you're like, man, I really want a different life, I know how you can get one. Start with the Gospel of John. figure out who Christ is. Get right with God. And brace yourself for a crazy, abundant roller coaster of a life. Doesn't mean that trouble and trials won't come for you. Trust me, they will. But through Him, you can do all things, because He strengthens you and He gives you rest. He teaches you wisdom and so much more. If you're tired of the way things have been going in your life and you truly want a change, then I challenge you to at least pick up the Bible and read the Gospel of John. If that's where you stop because your eyes aren't open, then that's where you stop. But at least give that one a go. Alright? Until then, I got to get back to laundry. Be blessed and be a blessing.